Hi, in this video, we're going to go over how to remove the hours and minutes from the display when we're looking at a task list. This involves using the culture interface labels. So the forewarning is that this is more of an advanced feature, and following the steps, it'll let you do what you need to. But I mean, all the features involved in there, there's a lot of training in there. So just if you want to do that, it's as simple as just going in there. So what we need to do is go to administration. So only an admin can do this. The system admin API is the only person can customize this. And we expand customizations and click on culture interface labels. For most people, this will be blank. Of course, because this is my test site, there's many different culture sets here, but typically an organization wouldn't have that many. Um, Typically it would be based on maybe different locations, and then the other one being maybe different languages. But of course, because of testing, I have quite a few different things. So now that said, look at the current setting and editing options if you do have some actually here. And I would still look at it there because there is our defaults that are in there, such as the English USA, English Europe, different things like that. So you might have something set different. So the key thing is to look at making sure everything for you, as far as current personal setting, is blank. System level setting, if something's there, you don't change that because that's what everybody's using right now. This will only affect you if you do this here. Okay, so that said, what you typically want to do is just go in here and give this a name. So this is your new culture set for your organization. We call it maybe the name of your organization's culture set number 1, whatever you wish to call it. All right, in this case, I've already done one that does the hours and minutes, so I'm just going to click on that. But basically, when I create a new one, so org culture set 1. And the key thing is here, you can inherit it from something. It doesn't matter here because unless you are in a different country, then maybe inherit that, because if you have a different default here, you probably want to inherit from that, because that way you don't have to change that stuff that's already now going to inherit. And in this case, the reason why I'm not selecting anything, our default in the system, if it's blank, is English USA. So if nothing's there, it's going to be English USA system default. Okay, so it's redundant for me to select it again, but if I want to, I could do that. So now once I hit save, it'll show up there and it's going to say refreshing, because basically you've created a new culture set and that the database can point to, and it has to be written over to the database. But so that's why I say refresh in there, because we haven't done any changes yet. It's still the default. But that said, now we can go click on your actual culture set there. But in this case, I'm going to click on this one just so I can, okay, that's how I did it here. All right. I'll step through it from here then as well. Let me just copy and paste this here. And we'll go through it from scratch here. So once I go in here, what I'm doing here is, here's my currency, number, and date, time, and culture setting. So you can select, you can do a mix of things here. Currency could be different based in reference to your time, date and time. And then also here I can once again set an inherit from, just in general. But in this case, that's not what we want to do. What we want to do here is click advanced. So now we get all this extra options here as far as when it comes to currency, number, and date time. So we're telling it what to inherit, but now we're going to tell it, now we're going to specify something specific based on that. So what I can do here is click test formatting settings. And when I do that, this is giving me the breakdown underneath here, so you can see what this does. So when you have 3Ds here, it gives you the short form of the day of the week, so Friday, like that. So if you didn't want to see that, you remove the DD from here, or you type in just month, day, year in that regard. So in this case, I'm just going to move this to, I guess I can't move it. So we just click on it every time we need it. So let's look at it again, test format settings. If you notice here, it has the time here as well, so you may need to copy and paste that there. We'll take a look at that in a minute. So anywhere where you see the time is where we want to remove that. So basically here, we want to keep the same format. We just want to remove the time. We want DD, MD, year. Okay, so that's what we want to do. We do DD space, I believe it's capital M. Before you hit save, you just double check it, and then /D, and then if you wanted 4, you can do that. If you wanted to have the full like 2016 instead of just 16, in this case I just want to keep it simple. Oops, not 16, YY for the year. Click here again so we can double check our work here, and we can see it's yes DD. If I want to keep the same formatting, I do that M lowercase d, and that is important too. If you see an uppercase, that means you need to put uppercase as well, because M can and it's a little lowercase m, so that's why it's very important to follow exactly as you see. If it's a uppercase D or a lowercase d, and then of course all that there. So that's exactly what we want there. But now we still have it over here, so we want to change that. So basically, in this case, the only difference between this formatting and this formatting, it was HH colon MM, which was saying give me the hours and give me the minutes, and then AM or PM. So in this case, that's why these look the same, because one's just short formatting, one's long formatting. Okay, so this should grab from here, but I don't recall 100%, so let's just hit save and take a look if it does. And like I said, before we hit save, we can verify this. And if you do mess it up, it's not set to anybody except for yourself at the time, but right now, actually, I haven't even done that. So it says I've saved it. It's saying it's refreshing. So I like clicking back here, making sure it is refreshing, because it might say refresh. Basically, it's telling you that refresh is needed. Click that, and there will be a hyperlink there, but I can't click it because there is no hyperlink. All right. So that said, we have that set there, and I want to make sure that's set only my culture set. So don't forget that. I went away from it without really setting that. So that's when we want to go here, and we called it org culture set 1. We hit save. So now that's my way of looking at things here. So it still says refreshing. You want to give it, and if you notice it when you hit save and all that, it typically takes anywhere 3 to 5 minutes for this to take place. It can take up to 3 to 5 minutes. It could be less. Let's take a look at one of our projects here real quick. And you can see it's still there. Okay, I just hit refresh. And you can see now all my date formatting does not display the date and time. No date and time. Go update the % complete. The actual start and end date values are still there, but you can ignore that if you needed to, because this is already in here. This is actually an old task by the looks of it. So you have one that's a little bit more up to date. Here at the end here. This one hasn't been started yet, so in this case I don't even have to put in start and end date, but that's up to your discretion if you do. But see, I can save it. And same thing here, I have no issues. And let's go look at a report. Oops. Okay, so I'm looking at this now for dates here, also removed from there. All right, so it'll take it away from most places, and specifically this article is just removing the hours and minutes from the start and end date fields. It's the start date and the end date on the task, and you can see it does do that. So thank you for your time. And once we have that set, actually, before we end this video, we do want to make sure if we do like what we see, we set this for everybody. So now we can just say org culture set 1. You can remove it from yourself, because you only would set it for yourself if you're testing something or you have a different one from everybody else. And that's the key thing, is that if it's set for yourself, that takes precedence. Otherwise, the current system setting is what it uses. So if this is blank, then it'll go to the current system setting. If that's all blank, then it just uses English USA for the default. All right, so thank you for your time.